Hello, in this video we're going to discuss advice for Japan and other countries. Do not mine moons. So the moon stabilizes the weather system by using a gravity field. So all that's up there is rock and dust, and there's a shell and gravity element. So it stabilizes the weather system for planets, and you'll find that it has a stronger gravity field facing the planet than what's behind the moon. And the moons do not rotate, but you can and may find moons that rotate that do this as well, and other planets. The gravity element is forbidden, and if you were to try to mine it, it would result in an intervention from heaven, which would involve massive spaceships and combat chassis arriving in the system. They would turn up along with God, Mary, the Holy Spirit, and archangels, and the consequences is purgatory. So people are always warned by heaven prior to an intervention. And the purgatory goes right up to the Prime Minister or Presidents of planets. So you'd get warned first, then if you tried to do it, you'll find that there'd be an intervention. And then you'd be in trouble. They'll just take you straight to purgatory, no matter where you are. Alright, so a sentient alien race was lost due to the fact that they mined their moon. And it is one of the alien races that is supposed to send a spaceship to Earth to meet humankind and establish a relationship with humankind, which then later leads to trade and tourism in each other's systems. Now, what happened to this race was they were curious about their moon and decided to mine it. Their leaders and their people had warnings. They chose to ignore them and continued to mine it. They completed building their spaceship that's supposed to come to Earth, and they mined the moon of gravity element, and their scientists studied it and built a small spaceship that could fly within a system, like from planet to planet, that used gravity amplification. So they found a way to amplify that gravity for propulsion. We don't use that sort of propulsion in heaven as it is considered inefficient. But they used it for the small spaceship, and when the big one was loaded and ready to go, and the astronauts were ready, the mining operation tipped over or took out some gravity element that was facing their planet, and it produced a wind that was 4,000 miles per hour or more. Their astronauts were already in space. They boarded their spaceship and left their planet. And as they left, their planet lost its cities. It becomes unlivable on the surface. You have to go underground. And nothing survived there. Everyone died. So that's why we have an intervention. And their spaceship has gone towards Earth. All right. So they might show up at some point. From heaven's perspective, an intervention involving time travel was carried out, and something was done about it. And the offenders did wind up in purgatory. Okay, so that's a problem that has happened and was dealt with. Right, so there are monuments on Mars, including a face and pyramids. So it's a sign there. Like, people see the pictures and they're not really sure they actually are there. There's probably other stuff there that's worth taking a look at. So if you mine the moons of Mars, you could destroy all of that and make it impossible to land on the planet. If a planet has no moon and a weather system, the weather system is a wind that's 4,000 miles per hour or more. And you have to wait thousands of years for a window in order to go there and land on it. And then once you're there, you have to wait for thousands of years more to leave it. It's a particularly difficult sort of place to mine. If it's that's the type of planet that you'd expect to do mining, but not live on. So these puzzles, these monuments that are in this solar system at the moment are puzzles, and they're throughout the entire system. They aren't just on Mars or Earth. There's some on the Moon, Saturn, Uranus, Jupiter, even all the small moons that are around them, but not the shepherds. You're not allowed to go to the shepherds. The Sun has a puzzle. So there's a monument on the Sun somewhere. And if we solve these puzzles, so the puzzles are designed for the angel who's a scientist, and God, Mary, Jesus and the Holy Spirit were involved in creating them, and other archangels. So the pyramids, the Great Wall of China, Stonehenge, the horses on the sides of the hills in England, the rock cut in half in Ireland, are all part of the puzzles. Even the Eiffel Tower and the Statue of Liberty are in that same category. They're puzzles as well. But in order to solve them, we have to wait. And people could look at them and wonder if there is a puzzle somewhere. It can lead to new technology, so that's the exciting thing about it. The difficult part is solving them. Right, on the horizon there is new technology for humankind. That's from heaven. So after Satan has been and his followers have been removed from Earth, there's a new manufacturing plant type that manufactures anything quickly and does not require anything. So that's a pretty awesome manufacturing plant for making stuff. As well as that, there's a new type of spaceship like the space shuttle, but much bigger, and it uses a new propulsion that does not require fuel. So it's only for system-wide travel. It's like you could fly to other planets and the moon with it, and stall takeoff. So that's on the horizon. You need the manufacturing plant in order to construct it and other stuff. So that's new tech on the horizon, and it's pretty positive. So for Japan and other countries, do not mine moons. I'm the Archangel Daniel, and I'm from heaven.